Hello, and we say good day to each and every one of you at this moment of your time. As the Pleiadian Council, we speak on behalf of the entire Galactic Alliance, and we say great thanks to all of you in your world for allowing this transmission to occur in this way. For as we serve and share, it also allows us to expand in our connection to and understanding of all that is, and for this we are very appreciative. How are you all doing at this time?
Really cool, big surprise, awesome. It was like my first channel when I started my traveling. It was great to see. We're here.
How fantastic. Well, we are excited again to meet you. And the purpose of these transmissions is to really assist your world in its evolution. For now you're going through these great times of acceleration, moving literally into higher dimensions. And in going from a much denser experience into one of contact with extraterrestrial life in a physicalized sense, there are many stages of this transition. And our hopes is to serve you in allowing you to reach those higher and finer vibrations, and to understand that you are really unlimited beings. The only thing that limits you are the beliefs that you pick up yourselves from other people. No one is alone in the burden they take on, for the collective consciousness of your own world is riddled with many old and ancient beliefs that have perpetuated certain imbalances and have kept people from really finding the source within themselves. Yet the time is ripe now, and you may choose, if you wish, to give back those belief systems. For at your essence you are one already with source, and there is nothing holding you back, again, except these beliefs. If you accept that you are an embodiment of source already, and if you accept the power that brings, it gives you the ability to allow your own heart's essence to speak. When you follow what your heart draws you towards, you allow synchronistic forces to attract you into new experiences that always resonate with what you are really here to learn. And along the way you may again encounter more and more of these belief systems that again do not inherently belong to you, that you may simply release. So the deeper you allow yourself to feel, to get in touch with all of the thoughts, emotions, feelings that flood your experience and question them, the more you can shed back those layers. And at your core, when you listen to your heart, when you feel what attracts your heart, what experiences, what ideas, what conversations ignite that fire within you, you will, in your own unique way, give back to all of creation simply by being in the right alignment, the highest vibration accessible to you. It is none other than your own joy, your own passion, and the expression of your own creative energy. So with that, we would love to assist you in any way that we can. And you may begin with any questions that you have, of course, about your own experiences, and also about bigger, you could say bigger, phenomena occurring within this universe, within the multiverse even. And we will answer to the best of our own ability. At any time you wish. All right. Is anyone there?
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Did you just give a general energy reading for the room?
For this particular group?
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to know about your energy?
That's a good question.
All right. we could say at a median you are vibrating together at 1,300 cycles per second. If that means anything to you.
I like that.
All right.
Cycles go quick.
Well, yes, in every moment you are oscillating between many different parallel realities. You are generating yourself anew in every moment. And the frequency that your body emits really depends on how deeply you allow that transformation that is innate to occur.
I have a question.
All right.
So, vibrationally, lately, I've been having people come into me, speaking about feeling alone and feeling not good and feeling like there's no purpose for them to actually exist in this world universe.
All right.
And for the past 2 days, I've been just feeling super like, almost like drained, body aching, just like not knowing what to do with myself.
All right.
And I just wanted to know if there's something in our energetical field that we should be aware of that's making this happen for the people that I've connected with recently, and also including myself and people that are surrounding me at this moment in the life as well.
Do you yourself feel purposeless within this?
Not purposeless, but I've been questioning my purpose, but I am still rooted and connected to my heart, and I feel like I am the connector when it comes to my purpose with people, with spaces. But lately I feel like I haven't been able to explore that with my speech, like when people come to me, talk to me, and me myself, I've been just not knowing where to take this energy either.
All right. Well, do you know that at your core, your purpose is to experience and embody unconditional love?
Yes.
Though, do you feel and experience that in a deep way? Are you doing what you love the most all of the time, or at least most of it?
I would say most of the, half of the time.
Half of the time.
Half of the time.
So half of the time there's a distraction.
Yes.
What then distracts you? What do you know isn't really your highest joy, but do anyway?
My fears, my anxieties, my programmings, pain bodies, still experiencing from childhood, abandonment issues a little bit, which that is also like I'm starting to see that flow of kind of removing itself, but I still feel residual of it because it brings me also people who feel the same way, and it reminds me of my own traumas as well.
All right. Well, do these emotions really hold you back from doing something you love anyway?
I feel like yes, because I feel in a state of non-movement, like kind of stuck in my own energy.
Yes.
And maybe sad because I don't feel I'm not moving, but at the same time, this also thought comes into my head telling me, or this voice comes to my head telling me to relax and ease into this process. I don't have to be moving and doing something constantly, even though I feel like that's my purpose.
Very good, in a way, because sometimes the shifts can be instantaneous. And it is really a shift in your own perspective, first of all. So the time out processing, allowing yourself to feel what you are feeling and reflecting it back to yourself through creating in some way. It can be writing, it can be creating art visually, it can be creating music, it can be having conversations, but it allows you to see and expose these old belief systems and put them to your past. Yet sometimes that action really does help, and it is simply a matter of, are you going out to do something exciting because it genuinely enlivens your heart, or are you doing it in order to make those voices, make those feelings go away? So when you can know the difference between when your motivations are genuine and when you may be attempting to distract yourself from something, you will have, in a way, continuous creative energy flowing. And in allowing yourself to rest, yet still be active in your own process internally, more and more of these belief systems will clear. And it may be also helpful to do processes in which you rewrite your past. Because in a large sense, the past is a story that you construct. And you are living in a reality that is ever shifting, meaning this moment you are generating a new past for yourself as well as a new future. And your subconscious can run the script as well as the belief of the past that you think you've had, and allow it to be a sort of filter that continues to distort your experience. Yet if you consciously go back into memories you have and reprogram them, asking your guides, asking your higher self to create a new scene, a new feeling, a new blueprint in your consciousness, that will be a new past that in turn generates a new present and therefore a new future. So this is one of the tools that you can play with when you do give yourself that time and that space to rest. Though you can be assured that nothing is going wrong in your journey. Nothing is going wrong in your process. You are simply expanding into more of who you are by releasing that old energy. And so you can have trust in what arises and know that the most important thing is only to have compassion for yourself in the process. And when you soften, you can trust that you will find that clear answer of how to work with your energy in that moment. And in turn, you will also, as you have asked, be able to be a clearer space of reflection for others around you who are moving through similar or even very different processes.
And may I also ask you, do you have a name that you'd like to be called, or?
We go as the Pleiadian Council. We do not really have a specific name as a more collective entity. There is one guide that works as a sort of interface between the collective consciousness of our world and the channel, that you could see as perhaps a future version of the channel. Though, again, all beings, past life, future life, whatever, are distinct and individual, and simply connect through being a part of the same oversoul, if that makes sense. In our world, we don't really have names, though there are unique vibrations light languages and even specific tones that each and every one of you can use to connect to your own Pleiadian guides, understanding that we are beings that work much more with vibration than with this sort of language that you use in your reality.
What would be... So, I've been looking at your planet clustered, star clustered for a while. I feel like it's been watching me since I was a little girl.
Yes.
And I've also had a friend that has a spiritual guide, and he tapped into my energy, and he said that I came down with the time of Jesus, and he sees me as far as like washing people's feet with him, stating that he also came from where you're coming from as well. He was a being of truth and knowledge and love.
Yes.
So my other question would be, what would be a way for me to be able to speak to you myself through my own channeling, if that is a possibility?
When you dream, you can get many messages from us, but even right here and now, you can open a channel if you wish, simply by bringing your awareness to your heart and picturing a column of light that goes out through the top of your head, beyond your own sun, and into this cluster of stars that you know, focusing on one central star, and imagining that energy flowing through this channel into your heart and then throughout your whole body. As this energy flows, the communication may first occur through many feelings, a sense of calm, peace, connection, and you can reflect in a way a question, an inquiry, desire up through that channel and feel a ripple and allow for the information to instantly return to you, noticing your own world of inner visions, imaginations as you call them. We work through that same realm that you use to visualize and picture and conjure things in your mind. And all you must do is really learn how to consciously slow your focus down enough so that you can get a clear take on that energy beyond you. So as you come into this state, you may see images, you may see reflections, if you wish, of our world, or simply ideas may come to you. Everyone has their own unique way of receiving this information, though that first stage is most certainly of feeling. And you must know that any information that comes from a higher realm must be encoded with love in order for it to be accurate. If you receive a message of great fear and confusion, you may be receiving a message from some other dimensional being, though it is not one that is what we would advise you listen to. It is most certainly not coming from us. And this is how you can discern what is true and what is not. Does it feel good? Does it allow you to rest more inside of yourself? It may not always be a message that affirms to you what your ego wants, but it will always be a message that allows you to rest deeper into love. And every one of you in your reality has this same power to connect into these higher realms. And you are going beyond times in which there are priests and figures of this nature who are that intermediary between the divine and the spirits and the humans. Even shaman, you are going beyond. Though at the time, shaman, channels, healers are all helping others awaken to that archetype within everyone, because you all have your own inner shaman, inner channel, inner guide that will allow you to make this contact. So with that, are you feeling the connection taking place?
I am.
All right. Any more questions?
Yes.
All right. Continue.
I've been seeing numbers and signs a lot of times, and the particular number, if you can tell me anything
All
about
right.
it, is 47.
All right. Well, what does that mean to you?
That I'm on the right path.
Yes. Though, does those numbers together, 4 and 7, mean anything significant to you? This is a natural thing that occurs every time you come into a connected state with your higher self. Those synchronicities will come to show you again that you are really in alignment and you are listening to the inner guidance. And everyone will have their own unique numbers that sort of act as those reminders for them. And while these numbers carry a collective meaning we can speak to, they will also have a personal meaning. They will also have a sort of inner meaning that in a way you generate and in a way you interpret over time. When those numbers show up, what series of coincidences and energies and alignments occur along with those numbers. So we can speak a bit to the collective meaning, and the personal meaning you can only find through experience. Though the 4 is that number of structure, of stability, you open up the 4 directions that help you orient yourself in time-space reality to get a sense of where you are located and the structure of your reality. So 4 represents collectively coming into orientation, finding your relation with the world around you, and building a structure that you can build upon. And 7 collectively means self-mastery. When you open and clear 7 chakras, you have done enough work to access in a clear way your own spiritual self. It requires this transmutation of 7 layers in order to get into your essence. And so when 7 shows up, it is often a reflection of the mystical, of working towards that spiritual attainment and opening up to higher levels of awareness. Together, the 4 and 7 will make an 11, which also represents a portal opening. It represents going beyond to the next level and clearing energies that may be blocking that attainment, that achievement, in a way. So this number contains all of those elements, though again, your own experience with it will build a meaning that is personal, a connection that is personal.
Thank you so much.
Oh, great. Thanks and love to you as well.
Much love.
What do you want to share?
Well, we have shared a lot. And again, the core of it is allowing your own essence to come through following your heart's passion. We wish to act as reflectors for how you can expand that passion in your own way. So we can also say that in these times there is a great expansion into a higher dimensional consciousness that is leading to extraterrestrial contact. And some of you have had contact experiences, and some of you are part of a hybridization program in which you go most of the time, almost always in dreams, to higher dimensions to have exchanges with certain extraterrestrial groups, and you exchange energy, and they take, or a copy at least, of your DNA to use in a program that has generated many new beings.
Is it
that
always consensual?
at a soul level, At a conscious level, you do not agree to every dream that you have, but your soul agrees to everything that you experience on these other planes. So these new beings are being generated, and they are preparing to come to meet you. And this is the blessing that you have in store if you really continue to follow your heart's passion, continue to work to raise your energy. And there is, as well, in many circles, a great fear of technology that we can speak a bit to, because really these craft and these beings live in harmony with their own technology. When you develop technology that is truly intelligent, you will realize that there is no such thing as artificial intelligence, as the same principle of synchronicity flows through the technology. And we have literally developed ships that can respond to our thoughts and interact with our emotional bodies. And the same synchronistic flow of energy that works with us works with the technology and works with all of you. So we do wish to again reflect this and remind you that there are bigger processes in store that you are all preparing for in your own way. But beyond that, you may continue. Yes?
I have a question.
All right.
I saw like a higher technology, some ship like recently, like a few weeks ago.
Yes.
I'm wondering if it was like a light thing connected to love or something else.
Yes, it was certainly connected to love.
In the more lower sense, I guess, or whatever physical sense.
Well, again, these ships can actually bend the fabric of space and time. So, well, it's not that that may be a way that you interpret it.
Mm-hmm.
More so, we have that ability to shift between dimensions. So this is why the ships appear for a brief period of time and then disappear. Your awareness of them and your initial gut response to them sends out a signal that shows us your preparedness. So every time one of these manifestations occurs, it is because you are at that moment ready to go to that next level. Though oftentimes there is that fear response that is simply a purge of those old belief systems that you have accepted. And that signals us to, in a way, disappear and allow you to work with that energy. So this particular instance that you saw was certainly great beings of light. The Yagyel and the Esasani are both present with you around this lake and manifest themselves at certain moments in their ships, as well as many other crafts. Even some of our crafts do occasionally pop in here. As this is a deep vortex, there are also pathways here that lead into your inner earth realm. And as many of you are attracted here to experience these energies, we are as well attracted here to sort of work with your energy. And many have had contact experiences here, and you can expand that if you wish.
So when I have these experiences, especially ones that seem like they're interacting with me, if I just stay in the frequency of love,
yes,
I will connect deeper with these ships in a sense.
And you can also say things like, if you are aware of me, move up, move down, send a blue light, for example. Mm-hmm. And this will show you that while it appears far away, it is intimately interwoven with your own consciousness, and that you can affect it, and it in turn can affect you. You can use those moments to get deeper in touch with yourself, and most certainly the energy that is shared always reveals something for you personally in your own growth. Now, these connections can also be accompanied by deeper dream experiences. You can take a moment to also note that when the ships manifest, and especially when you start to interact with them, there's a telepathic interaction occurring on other levels that you can perhaps ask a question and receive an answer. You can ask who they may be, and if you allow the fear to clear from your system, often you will get clear answers, clear imagery even, of what is occurring. Does that make sense to you?
That makes a lot of sense.
All right.
I appreciate it.
We thank you, yes. Do not fear. You can even open up daily or nightly to receive a transmission from us or any such beings to help you deepen in your ability to open that gateway.
It's very helpful.
Yes, you are welcome.
I'm kind of wondering.
The constellation itself, the Pleiades, encompasses many, many different stars. And so we ourselves that work with the channel are focused around the star Alcyon originally, though we do branch out. Now we are at a level from the point of transmission, because understand that there are many different levels that other channels may connect with, though at this point we are quasi-physical beings, meaning that we have a non-physical experience much of the time, and we can manifest into form when it serves a purpose for us. There are many different groups that are at this level, and so our world is one that is very diverse, with different races, with different skin tones, and so on and so forth. And we have evolved sort of through the coming together of many different races. Within the Pleiadian star system itself, there are even different races that express themselves differently on many different planets. So when you open up to Pleiadian consciousness, you can often interact with some of these beings as well. Now, we, generally speaking, show up in a way that is the most easy for humans to interpret. So you will often see us as much taller humans with perhaps long flowing hair, perhaps wearing robes or some sort of space suit, depending on the moment of interaction. We often have elongated faces and bigger eyes, though again this is not a fixed representation, as there's a very diverse group of beings that make up our reality. That is often the appearance that shows up because it is, again, the easiest for you to interpret. And again, we can move from expressing ourselves in this way to expressing ourselves in much different ways. When many of you tap into Pleiadian memories, you will see forms like this, as those connections are what assist your soul in growth the most. And we have been interacting with your planet in more ancient times, in civilizations you know to be Lemuria and Atlantis. And we have helped your race evolve since and before such times even. So really, the DNA of all beings in this galaxy is essentially made of the same components, though our DNA is very similar to yours. As an offshoot group of Pleiadian beings, we're the first to seed the development of humanity into what it is today. And since that point, we have also influenced your development, as have many other beings with varied intentions.
Please.
Are there any of you among us that do not know of their existence of being Pleiadian? Are any of us mixed or connected or?
Well, all beings really on your world, unless they have arrived here otherwise, which there are some, are humans, of course, with connections to Pleiadian beings, and some starseeds, as you are terming them now, come in with a much stronger connection to these different groups. So when souls incarnate, there's a specific code, you could describe it, a specific vibration they are here to bring. And yes, many starseeds are having a very strong connection to Pleiades or Sirius or Arcturus, or the hybrid groups, for example. And that code is enlivened within their genes. They may remember their other incarnations, and with such a strong memory in their body, it may feel harder to assimilate on Earth. Most people with this experience know, for example, that this is not like where they have been before, though some with more what you describe as a mental challenge, as developmental uniqueness, will not necessarily remember or have the words for where they have come from, yet still will have those particular codes active within them.
And what does evolution mean to you?
Evolution?
Yeah.
Returning to source.
Would source be like a star, or how would you see source?
Well, source is an undifferentiated consciousness. The source is the pure consciousness of the universe that is very loving, is an embodiment of unconditional love in your particular universe. So that energy of unconditional love is the clearest pathway to returning to source in this particular universe. So by returning to that source, you are unraveling the layers of belief and conditioning that separate you from a pure experience of unconditional love. And evolution manifests through technology, through art, through creative expression, through everything you experience as your life in different ways when people are truly motivated by love and passion. That is all an expression of evolution, and its natural point leads you back to source. So from the point of evolution you are at now, you will actually shift into higher and higher dimensions. And yes, you are in a higher dimension of Earth than you were years before, and it is continuing to shift in this way. Eventually you will become like us and first be able to live within a more malleable reality where things will occur more quickly, where the energy you put out will return to you more quickly. This is already happening, though that will lead to it being a very dreamlike state. With your will, you can attract and generate new experiences and connections instantaneously, eventually to a non-physical state in which you can move directly into spirit, into higher dimensions beyond having a physical expression. And beyond that, there are still layers before you return to that quintessence of source. So it is a process of evolution that we ourselves are still on, as are many other beings. Even angels, as you describe them, even that realm is in a process of evolution, all returning into that state of oneness, source, remembering that oneness in a unique way. Does that help you with the concept of evolution more? All right.
just really want to ask this question.
All right.
So, me and my partner, Christmas, we lived in this house in Chicago, which now it's getting passed on to a friend. But in our neighborhood, there are two houses that are built next to each other, and they look very much alike, but so different. On the outside, but the structure of it is the same. They're connected with the ladder. Both of them are abandoned, like no one lives there. Sometimes you see like a little light, but we never see any activity. And one of the houses has Anunnaki engraved into the door. Gives off very like, to some of my friends that are tapped into their own energy, gives off very fearful energy. One of my friends gets headaches when she passes the house.
Gas sniffer.
What is it?
Gas sniffer?
Gas sniffer?
Yes, like volcano, like sulfur. Yeah. Wonder what they're suffering.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you can like tap into that for me, because it's been a question. Like, I stared at that house every night while I'm walking my dogs, if there was someone there, because there was tiny little light sometimes that was in the shape of like, you know how the deep sea like ships are? They have that like window, submarine kind of windows, and that light would be on most of the time. And there was a point where I was talking to a friend, and the door is a little bit open, and I was speaking to him like, "Yo, the door is open. This is strange." Like, and I'm explaining this to him, but in a very silent manner, and the door just went like as if, yeah, the whoever was inside or whoever was, yeah, just heard me, but I was like whispering, and it just all happens like, yeah. So I just wanted to see if you can tap into that, and if you see anything there.
Yes. As we interpret the energy of this place, this location, there are people there that are part of some secret society that intends to attain a state of spiritual realization for more selfish purposes. And so for that reason, they keep very secretive, closed off to themselves, and really, there is nothing to fear when it comes to this location or any such person associated with that, for it is the fear that gives them power. It is the fear that they play off of. So we wouldn't really worry about it or give it too much thought, for many of these forces in your world have already gotten the message that their time of power is over as you move into this new age of light. So we would encourage you to not worry about it so much.
Yeah, part of my daily routine was to just go and bless the house, like just stand there and give it a lot of love, because it did, like, the energy of it was...
Well, were you giving it a lot of love, or were you giving it love with a little bit of concern?
Just love and
right.
Curiosity.
All right.
Curiosity, a lot of curiosity.
Yes.
Because there are parts of me, like, when I was a child, like, I like tapping into realms that are beyond what you are normally aware of.
Well, of course, you can tap into realms that are beyond, and we understand from working with you here that you are doing so right now. And so you must understand that tapping into realms beyond does not have to be something dark or even something mysterious. Mm-hmm. That in these times, really, it is all coming out into the open. And it is natural to be a bit curious about those forces using the same energy for more negative purposes, for it is real out there. Though what we really say about this is that the more focus you give those forces, the more energy they receive, the more power they have. The more time you spend wondering what's going on back there, the more they use subconsciously that power of your focus for their purpose. And this occurs very often when there are what you know as conspiracy theories. So
if you're wrong, you just give them your energy. You have to be right about what they're doing.
The conspiracies themselves are often the lead spokespeople of the conspiracy theories, giving out partial truths and information that works to scare and confuse people, yet bring them down a rabbit hole of searching for answers. And oftentimes when people begin to see this information, they get tangled in with the entities that are working with the conspiracy theorists, and they generate negative synchronicities that prove to them again and again that the conspiracy theories are right. So you can look at it with a bit of curiosity when it shows up, for indeed it is rather curious. It is rather curious why some people believe that in order to feel connection they must take power over others. Yet at the same time, when you trust your own judgment, when you allow yourself to see it for what it is, there's no purpose to give energy to it, because ultimately it only feeds it.
Would you mind when I interrupted you there?
All right. Well, what was that?
Did you mind if...
No, continue.
No, did you mind when I interrupted, or joined your conversation by adding to it?
No, we did not mind.
I'm just letting you know that. Just rather not.
All right.
May I ask about, you said something about dreams and interacting with extraterrestrials in dreams.
Yes.
Are there any indicators for when that is happening? Like when a dream is your own versus when you might be tapping into something, and if that something is beneficial for you or if it isn't?
Yes. The dreams that are simply rehashes of your day are not usually the dreams in which we are making contact with you. Now, when we show up in your dreams, we may present ourselves in our true form, or simply as beings of light, or actually sometimes disguised as animals or some sort of symbol that seems comfortable to you. Now, what you could say is universal about these experiences is that they imprint a great vibration of love, though when the energy comes through as very extraterrestrial and other, sometimes your own fear about extraterrestrials can be projected onto the experience itself. So sometimes people will have these experiences of contact that will feel negative to them because they have a deep-seated fear about extraterrestrials. And when that is the case, people must really examine what kind of projections, what kind of ideas are they holding on to. Beyond that, when you experience something positive and receive a message or receive some transmission of energy from these experiences, you can trust that something positive is happening. And if you want to generate more of these experiences, you can simply intend before you go to sleep and throughout your day that as you enter that realm, you would like to meet your guides or meet with these beings, or even you can place near you something that represents our frequency. It can be an object or a crystal, or it can be an image of crop circles or something of this nature that reminds you to keep that in your focus. And more deeper initiations in the dream time can occur.
frequency the highest?
Phantom quartz will often help in allowing people to access the energy of guides, understanding that much like the phantom within the quartz, you yourself are a crystal within a larger crystal, and using that metaphor to open up to your higher self can show you these guides, which are simply like many facets of the great crystal of your oversoul. Now, for extraterrestrials in particular, Moldavite is one of the best connection stones, as what many see as a piece of a meteor is actually the fragment, or the at least the leftovers of impact of an extraterrestrial craft very, very long ago upon your planet. And therefore it has that energy of allowing you to reach up and beyond to those higher realms, as well as many things that themselves come from space will have that similar energy of allowing you to go beyond the limits of the field of your own planet. There are as well different types of quartz that are more rare, that those who work with stones intimately will understand. You may attract them. Some of these crystals were seeded, you could say, by extraterrestrials very long ago.
Then you can send your like flower of life crystal in your immediate solar systems, at least in galaxy, and then have much more than just a planet-wide crystal grid.
Yes.
Also, and then it connects. That's what you guys did, yeah.
Well, anytime you create a grid of the crystals or any such constellation, you intend it to anchor a certain frequency from our realm. It will work. They can act as portals to amplify these higher frequencies and allow many different spirits to come and play, if that is what you wish.
Thank you.
Yes, our great thanks to you. All right, well, we thank each and every one of you for this interaction. And in closing, if you come to your heart and allow yourself to feel the great power that lies within you, allow yourself to realize that really there is no other, that we, as reflected through the channel, are but another aspect of you. And that if we appear in your dreams, or in the sky, or in that shimmer from a crystal, or in what you describe as your imagination, really we are an aspect of the bigger you, as is any other being that comes to meet you. And when you can dial in, as a metaphor, your heart to the frequency you prefer, the frequency of love, the frequency of passion, all of these reflections can be met in the most clear and expansive way. And you can deepen in your understanding that while you are individuated, you are source. You are one with all that is. And you do not need to work to become one. You do not need to make yourself more like anything or anyone that appears beyond you. Actually, the more you make yourself uniquely who you are, the more you emit a frequency that is attractive to these higher energies. The more that you see the unique purpose that you are here, and the way that you fit into the puzzle that only you can fit into. So, here in your heart you have the guide, you have the compass, you have the directional orientation to how to ascend to higher dimensions and how to navigate this physical plane that is becoming, in a sense, much less physical all the time. And know that here in your heart you can know us and know many others, always. And we are always here to expand the love within you and around you. And we, in that sense, love you very much, and we always thank you for connecting, for it is as well an expansive and beautiful experience for us and for many others who receive the ripples of the interactions that take place in this way. With that, we wish you a very beautiful day, and we will see you in many other ways.
Epic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really good.
That was cool.
Yay. Did it work?
Yeah, it just missed a little bit. I think when I was asking the question, it cut off, but it
About-
worked.
About the crafts?
Yeah, unfortunately, I thought that was nice.